Okay, I'm here.
Hey.
I went ahead and left the gym, you know?
My bad.
No worries.
I don't know what happened, Mr. Brenda, but I had some technical difficulties.
I know how it goes.
And it was kind of a going, but at the end it says that I had some of internet connection or something. And I'm sorry for because I got you on the 7th and it took all this time, so I'm really sorry. But
No
I really
problem.
appreciate
Behind us
it.
now. Yeah.
How is everything? You just left the gym?
Yeah, I did. How's your tournament promotion going?
Yeah, it was going really good. We did last weekend. We did Pittsburgh, and it was really great. We had a lot of a good experience, and that's what we're looking for. But before we start, I just want to say that I'm very happy, very excited. This is our first podcast, PPGGF podcast, and I'm super excited that finally we got together, and you're the first one to be here. And we are going to we're doing a promotion for all the local schools that we wanted to go, and make that connection with all the local gyms, so we can have our events and get to know everyone, and I really appreciate that your time, and for you to be here.
Right on. Yeah, I'm happy to be involved in your first time around,
Nice. So let me ask you a question, Mr. Brandon. When did you start doing jiu-jitsu?
I started February 1st of 2007.
2007.
Yep.
Nice. That was nice. I was looking over your Instagram and your Facebook as well. Matter of fact, I have your Facebook open here. It's a very nice looking gym, and I see that guys do more than BJJ. Can you tell me a little bit more of what you do in your gym?
Man, I'd be happy.
Ohio?
The thing is we just have such rich resources here in Ohio. I always, liked to study all the different arts, and it made learning a little slower, but, in the end, it gives you a really nice skill set. So I've done a lot of things. BJJ, got my black belt 5 years ago. I did kickboxing and, boxed a lot. And then in the last, 8 years or so, I've really focused a lot on wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a hard thing to do as like an older person, a lot of around here people learn that mostly when they're little kids. So,
yeah, I can relate with that.
It's been a good thing to add in. So, I put together, I really think here in town, there's not a lot of people that can say they know as much of all the different facets as I do,
Okay. And what are your programs in your school? What do you teach on your school, Brandon?
Man, I have everybody box, wrestle, and do, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I ended up with the Carlson Gracie team, but I got my start with the Helson Gracie team here in Ohio. So,
nice.
Yeah, they've had just such an awesome presence. I mean, half of what I teach is probably straight from what I learned there at the Helson Gracie Academy. The other half I kind of learned in the Carlson family. So that's
it's a very very nice lineage that you have right there.
I mean, I'm proud of it. Like I said, we've got such nice resources here in Ohio. I'm kind of interested to hear if everybody's engaging with you in your tournament, if everyone's being cool to you, or what it's like. It's been I've not been around the longest of anybody here in town, obviously, but compared to most people, I've been around kind of a long time now.
Nice. We are local events. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu event, and we run most of it in Maryland and Virginia. And we wanted to, by the end of the year, we're trying to do like a 2-3 tournaments out of our local area, which is Maryland, Virginia. So last week we have done in Pittsburgh. On the 22nd, we're going to Ohio. And then also there's North Carolina coming. And then we have Maryland and Virginia coming up. And we're really happy and excited about it because we were trying to expand our tournaments, you know, from the East Coast next year. But we were so happy that we have done it this year. We tried a few places out of Maryland and Virginia as well. You know, we try to do some different stuff from other tournaments. You know, we want to try to bring more professionalism to our events. So we have our Roll Life. So our fights, it's live on YouTube. So if your mom or your cousin, whatever, they cannot be there, they can watch you live on our YouTube. We also have, we're starting with the podcast, and you're the first one. We have our, you know, gi booth and everything. We also interview everyone that is in there, especially the coaches, you know, and then we put it in Instagram. So we're trying to connect with everyone as much as we can. We're super excited to be in Ohio next week. We wanted it to go and visit some gyms in Ohio, but the time was too fast. We couldn't go. But regardless, it's going to be a very opportunity to us to build that connection, you know. And I'm super excited to be in Ohio first time. Can you please tell me something? How is the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community in Ohio?
Man, I mean, I'm really proud of the community. I mean, it's not like probably like, you know, Southern California or something like that, but you know, really, I've been around long enough to see everything. I feel like really grew out of that Helson Academy. I mean, that was the first thing. It was one of the first places here in the entire Midwest that you could even train Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, you know, and that was brought here by a guy named Jeff Hudson. And he, you know, he's just been around forever and is like a really reputable gentleman. And you know, I just happened to meet Hoist Gracie somewhere when I was traveling for work, you know, and I went up and talked to Hoist, and he's like, "Oh, you're from Ohio? Oh, Jeff Hudson." So you know, he knew, you know what I mean? That so he was a known person, you know.
So you got your black belt from Jeff?
I didn't get my black belt from him. I got it from Carlson Gracie Jr.
Nice.
Which I'm proud to say, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But they got me on the right path, and you know, I mean, I got to say, like I was with that Helson group for a long time, and then I went with the Carlson team after. There's, you know, no real crazy story behind that. I just gave it a try, and I, you know, went over there one time, and I ended up training with them. But you know, either way, like it's really, I feel like it's really reputable here in Ohio, actually, and we also have a great history of. There's just like really, there's great, you know, college football programs. There's, you know, we've had, I think, more UFC champions from here in Ohio than anywhere else, you know. So if that's why when you hit me up and you said, "Hey, you want to come on this podcast and talk a little bit?" I said, "Yeah, you know, I got to get better at talking about this because we've got really good stuff here to be proud of, and you know, there's just a real history of tough people here, you know."
No, definitely. Like I remember when I started Jiu-Jitsu. I started in Jiu-Jitsu in 2005, and I was living in Miami. And I lived there for 12 years. And I remember by 2005 when I started it, but I really started to compete by 2007. Did some tournaments here and there, but I can tell from where I started there, we didn't have many tournaments, you know, as we have today. And it's such nice to see how the jiu-jitsu is being growing, you know, and how we have a lot of tournaments and how people are capable of, you know, experience themselves with the jiu-jitsu. I also, you know, I'm from Brazil, and I'm really excited that when I start seeing, as you mentioned, Royce Gracie, you know, I was like, wow, Royce, you know, and I want to do what he does, and it was really a good stuff. I started it grappling here in high school. I did wrestling, you know, 4 years in Miami. But then after I left the high school, I was like, man, I want to try jiu-jitsu, you know? And that's where I started it, and I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. And then since then, I've done a couple of MMA, then trained box and stuff like that. But it's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. I will say I saw you online moving. You know what I mean? You're moving good. So you know.
I have my moments.
Yeah. We all do.
Yeah. And what you can tell to the people that is watching you and the people that want to train jiu-jitsu or they want to go and own your gym and maybe do wrestling or kickboxing or the things that you have in a program, what do you say to them why they should start doing martial arts, jiu-jitsu and wrestling, stuff like that?
Man, I mean, for me,
Uh-huh.
you know, there's just my life before and there's my life after, and just like completely changed it, you know. And for me, you know, I don't have the most distinguished competitive background. You know, I've done enough to stay, you know, to earn my ranks and prove my skill sets, you know. But for me, it was more just about like, you know, you're just to be comfortable in your own skin. You know, I mean, a lot of people, and you know, I've worked really responsible jobs in industry and whatever, and like so many people just aren't even, they're just not comfortable in their own skin. You know, they go around in like the workplace and they're nasty to other people because I don't know, they're just lacking something inside themselves. You know, and
Yeah.
you know, doing this thing just helps you understand so much about your own self. You become just such a better adjusted person to deal with the world around you. I don't know what it is. Does it make sense?
Yeah, it does. Like I feel like you know, when I started doing jiu-jitsu, and you know, the more I practice, the more I fell in love, the more I understand jiu-jitsu. I feel like jiu-jitsu teaches a lot of you like how do you solve problems, you know. An example, one day you were on the bottom, the other day on the top, the other day someone got your back, and then how do you solve problems, you know. And that really, it's a good point of me like explain people, man, you do jiu-jitsu, you know, and you start seeing how you can solve problems, because sometimes you have to be patient with things, you know, and jiu-jitsu gives you that. And you have to be humble to tap, and then you have, you know, there's a lot of things that you really helps you, you know, in a different vibe, you know. It start, like you said, right, it start becoming like a lifestyle, you know, every day, and then training every day. I was watching today some of your videos teaching box, the way you move, really nice, really like. I would like to have opportunity to, if not this time, but one day go there and train with you guys. You know, we also have the Roll Life. We might have to go there in your gym and then do some stuff there. You know, the cameras get to the students, you know, and you know, check it out, the gym, if everything's okay. I would like to see if you can help me, you know, to see if you can promote our events. We're gonna have, you know, like I said earlier, we're gonna have our tournament in October 22nd. It's gonna be Columbus, Ohio, and I am super happy, super excited to be there. It's gonna be my first time being in Ohio, and it's first time being as you know, with all the events there.
I would try to support it, you know, as best we can. You know what I mean? You know,
Uh-huh.
people don't really understand this stuff with the gyms, with the tournaments, with even just small businesses. You know, it's like, dude, you got to vote with your dollars. If you want this to be here, you know, you got to get out there and support it. If you want these tournaments to come to Columbus, like get out there, you know, pay these people some money, give them a shot, see if it's a, you know, It's the same thing with the gym. Like these people just take for granted it's always going to be there, and if you don't get out there and vote with your dollars, you know, you're not going to have these opportunities to compete. You're not going to have these opportunities to train. You know, just it's another thing I've learned from all the martial arts is like out there and, you know, pay for something good. Like people are so averse to spending their money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so.
I have someone here send a message, Michael Gale.
Yeah, that's my dude there.
He's asking me to ask you about the time he thought he would be kidnapped by a bunch of BJJ dudes. What is about that?
Well, my dude Michelle, he's Brazilian, and I know him from when I worked in China.
Okay.
So the first thing, my company wanted me to go work in China for 6 months. I said, I'll think about doing it. I was like, but you know, I got to be able to train BJJ. What am I going to do? I can't go over here to this place and not be able to train, you know? So I get on the internet and I find training in Dongguan, China.
Uh-huh.
China, and you know, so I find this guy, Michelle, and he somehow, you know, he was like a blue belt and he knew of a club and it was in the same city where I was going to train. So he said, okay, I contact him on the internet. I decided to go to China, and I go over there and I got to go meet him one night. Well, you know, when you're a foreigner, it's just kind of scary. You know what I mean? It's
That's you don't know.
but no, like, I'm like, and you know, I mean, you're an American dude. You know how we are. We're like, we think everybody's out to get us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I go overseas. I'm meeting this dude. We jump in the taxi cab and we're headed to, you know, whipping through the streets of Dongguan, China. And I'm sitting here like, where are they taking me? Where are they taking me? Am I going to disappear? You know? And he takes me up in this building and he takes me to the gym and everything was fine. But he loves to remind me of how scared I was because I didn't know I'm in some strange place. And if someone's going to, you know, beat me up, take my money and leave me for dead or what, you know?
Nice.
I felt like it was a reasonable concern, right? You know?
He trains with you?
He trained with me there in China, and now he went back to Brazil, and of course I'm back here in the U.S. So
Nice.
that's all history. But yeah, I've been around the world a little bit at least. You know what I mean?
Nice. That's good. It's good to be different places, different culture, and learn a little bit of, you know, our something from outside of our circle. You know, it's really nice.
Yeah, and you know, while we're on that topic, it's like, man, you know, these people you know, these people that they don't want to train, they don't want to invest their time, their money, their effort into the training, and what they don't realize is when you do this kind of training, you know, it's like currency that is valid all over the world. You know, I went there to China, and I had an instant peer group, you know, instant friends, instant people to help. It just, I couldn't have done that trip without that. And it was all because, you know, I was a bad purple belt at jiu-jitsu, you know?
You know that I was listening to a podcast the other day, and as you were telling me that about now the currency, and but I really forgot who was it, but it says something that really catch my attention, and it goes like, you know, you do something that you can do all over the world, you know. But an example, if you're a doctor here and you have to go to a different place, and then you have to do all the things, you know, but any career, right? But martial arts, wherever you go, you can just go and open, and that's your career right there, your diploma right there from university, and that's really true. No matter where you go, you know, all the knowledge you have of martial arts, take with you, and that's what is really nice about it. I have some stuff here that people asking me to say, and also we have some sponsor that I would like to say before here. So I would like everyone that is watching here or it's gonna watch later to please go to our PBGJF Instagram. We also have the Brave Geese, so we sell that online, you know, and also we have the booth in our events. and you can go to the website. It's bravekimonos.com. We also have our YouTube PBGJF. So if you just go there and watch, please comment, like, follow us. We also have a Roll Live that you can also subscribe, comment, and like. And we're trying to have, like, mostly the local place. We have the acai. So, you know, we will try to bring that culture to our event as well. So hopefully we will have that as in Ohio too. Pretty much, I don't want to take the whole night, but I pretty much like to say thank you, Mr. Brandon, for your time. Do you like to say anything to anyone that is watching or is going to watch about you, the gym?
No, I mean, like I said, I was happy to talk about Ohio. I was happy to talk about the lineage of, you know, jiu-jitsu here in Ohio and just tough people in general, you know, and people, you know what I mean? Get out there and patronize this, you know what I mean? If you want to have these opportunities to compete, you know, you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta patronize those promotions, and, you know, that way it's all about that competition experience, you know what I'm saying? So if you want to get your experience without having to go to Chicago or, you know, whatever other regional ones, you know, get out there and spend some money with these folks.
Awesome. I really appreciate, Mr. Brandon, your time. And it was really nice to talk to you. Really nice to get to know about you too. I forgot to say, but I also come from Carson Grace lineage. So my master Boca he's a De La Riva Boca's De La Riva student.
Oh yeah.
So we're pretty much brothers in a
Oh, right on, bro. Yeah.
So pretty much nice. I feel really happy, and thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you like this little chat that we had today about jiu-jitsu and tournaments and all lineage and everything there, Ohio.
Yes, definitely. And people know me; they know I like to talk. So you know what I mean. Anytime, you know, we'll have to talk some more.
Of course, we'll be in touch.
All right, brother. I'll see you at this tournament.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Brando. I see you next time.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
See
you.
you.
See ya. Bye-bye.